Imagine stepping out of your house one morning and spotting this, a towering waste incinerator facility in your backyard. Your gut reaction? Probably something like, no way! But here's the hard truth. Malaysia is drowning in waste. Those plastic containers from your takeout, the mountain of delivery boxes from your online shopping, the old furniture abandoned on street corners, they all end up here. The government's solution? Build 18 waste-to-energy or WTE power plants across peninsular Malaysia. The Housing and Local Government Ministry has billed it as safe, zero waste, and toxic-free. But is that really the case? In 2023, Selayang MP William Leong revealed that there were plans for 2 WTE incinerators within 15 kilometers of Rawang, Selangor, sparking protests from locals and NGOs. Their concerns? Health risks, environmental harm, and the hidden cost of such projects. So are these WTE plants the answer to Malaysia's trash crisis? Or is it just another potential ecological crisis? After 6 months of combing through reports, consulting experts, and hearing from affected communities, we're taking a look at the reality behind this plan. Let's break it down.
Down, down, incinerator!
Down, down, incinerator!
Bangkit, bangkit, penduduk Rawang!
Bangkit, bangkit, penduduk Rawang!
A crowd of 300 protesters gathered in Bandar Tasik Puteri on January 21st, 2024 to voice their opposition to the proposed waste-to-energy facility in Batu Arang, Selangor. Demonstrators highlighted that beyond heritage preservation, the project poses potential health risks to nearby residents. They urged the government to reconsider the location, emphasizing that the unique geological composition of Batu Arang demands special consideration in any development plans. Former Principal Tan Lei Hua also shed light on a concerning incident from the early 1990s at SJKC Chap Kwan School. At the time, mysterious heat and toxic fumes forced students and teachers to evacuate the premises, a direct consequence of underground coal fires in the area that highlights the geological risk of building a waste incinerator in Batu Arang.
消防为了找出原因啊，就找 bomber 了，还有地质学家来研究到底是什么原因了。开始的时候，他们找原因根本就找不到什么原因，到最后找那个产机来，一点一点的挖，想把那些煤屑啊。 那些炭皮啊，把它挖掉，因为这个是以前采矿的时候挖出来的那些炭填上来的哦，填着这个山坡的哦，所以他想挖，慢慢挖，慢慢挖，越挖越深。突然间呢，大火冲上来，突然间它冲上来哦，哇，吓到产业局整个人都想逃走，幸亏它冲上来以后，它就卸下来了，差一点就把它整个泥基就烧掉。
The incident at SJKC Chap Kwan wasn't an isolated case. In 2011, Karl Ngaw's ancestral home in Batu Arang was similarly threatened by underground coal fires. Firefighters spent an entire week excavating coal and flooding the site to extinguish the flames.
It's just like about 20 meters away. Somebody started a rubbish burning there. And then the fire actually went underneath to my backyard here. You can see the blue stripes there was burned. From there, fire spread underneath until my kitchen. This is my kitchen was totally burned. Firemen came and they destroyed. They have to take out the bricks and things like that, so totally wipe out, dig out the soil, dig out the coal, throw it somewhere else. And then after that, I have to order something like about 5 trucks of soil and top it up.
Meanwhile, Ravi has witnessed a series of land subsidence incidents in Batu Arang. The sinkhole appeared when a cement factory began extracting groundwater extensively for industrial use, disrupting the fragile network of old underground mining tunnels. How serious was it? Serious enough for the state government to propose relocating the entire town. For residents, however, Batu Arang isn't just a piece of land, it's their home. The subsidence issues were only resolved after the cement factory ceased its groundwater extraction operations. However, the memory of these events lingers, fueling fears about the risks posed by plans to construct a WTE incinerator in the same geological sensitive area. Many residents question why the government would choose to place such an expensive facility on unstable ground. We consulted 2 geologists for answers. They indicated that the risks might not be as severe as residents believe.
The sinkholes will only reappear if you have water being drawn down from the pond and therefore lower the groundwater in the surrounding area. Now, if they don't do anything about that, then I don't see how the construction of this project will lead to the development of sinkholes.
First thing we must know, is it any coal deposit near to the incinerator? So if near, maybe we have a higher potential, but look at this incinerator, they are burning inside their combustion chamber. So I didn't see they have an open fire near to their plants, so which is cannot directly will cause the fire.
Both geologists emphasize that it is too early to determine whether Batu Arang is suitable for a waste incinerator facility. They said any conclusion can only be drawn after authorities conduct thorough geological surveys and submit comprehensive environmental impact assessments, EIA reports. But before delving further into this controversy, it's important to address a key question. What exactly is a WTE facility?
Conventionally, when we say incinerator, in science we call it thermal treatment. We use heat to treat the waste. When technology improve and grow, then we can make use of the heat to generate electricity. Then they use a new term as WTE, waste to energy. Actually, for me, waste to energy and incinerator are same thing. But of course, waste to energy, it covers not only incinerator. There are also other technologies in place like anaerobic digester. We also put organic waste in a facility, then the waste degrade and generate methane gas, and then we can turn into electricity. That is also a waste to energy.
There are various types of waste-to-energy technologies being implemented. In Selangor's Bukit Taga sanitary landfill gas technology is used. This system covers the landfill with a plastic layer to trap biogas, which is then converted into electricity. By capturing and utilizing biogas, this method reduces greenhouse gas emissions while producing energy. In developing countries, incineration-based WTE facilities are particularly popular due to their ability to process unsorted municipal solid waste. In Malaysia, one operational WTE incinerator is located in Port Dickson, Negeri Sembilan, while another is under construction at the Jeram landfill in Selangor. This site has been designated for the Selangor government's planned WTE incinerator. Named the Sultan Idris Shah, or SIS, Green Energy Plant, this 4.5 billion ringgit project will be jointly overseen by KDEB, a Selangor government subsidiary, and YTL Power. According to the proposal, the facility will be capable of processing up to 2,400 tons of waste daily from 6 Selangor municipalities, including Petaling Jaya, Ampang Jaya, and Shah Alam. 2,400 tons sounds massive, right? But here's some perspective. Selangor produces about 10,000 tons of waste every day. So what we're looking at here is less than a quarter of that. According to KDEB's assessment, the facility's waste combustion process will generate 58 megawatts of power, enough to meet the monthly electricity needs of approximately 20,000 households. However, experts have noted that the majority of the power generated is often consumed to sustain the facility's own operations. A WTE incinerator reduces all this garbage to just 10% of its original size. In a world where urban space is at a premium, it's not just about generating power, it's about extending the lifespan of our landfills. Think of it like those vacuum-sealed bags you use for packing, transforming a bulky winter coat into a slim, compact package. That's essentially what WTE does with our waste.
Now we are talking about probably 90% will be dissolved at the plant. So of course it will produce residual, but that residual 10%, which is much less than what we used to, we will bring it to the landfill. So for that manner, if that landfill previously, probably it can last, one landfill 100 acre or 150 acre can last maybe between 7 to 10 years. Now we can extend the lifelong of this landfill. Rather than it can last for 7 to 10 years, now it can probably 63 years to probably to 100 years. So it is good for the state in particular because less land has been used and victimized as a landfill.
But here's the thing about burning waste. It's not as simple as lighting a fire and watching all our problems vanish. Air pollution, noise pollution, and health impacts, these aren't just abstract concepts. They're real, pressing concerns that keep residents and NGOs awake at night.
We are afraid of dioxin, which causes cancer, and also miscarriages. Right? Proven again and again how disastrous and harmful this dioxin can be.
Even with all your up-to-date and sophisticated air pollution control technologies, there will still be emissions. You cannot say there is zero emissions. Yeah, this could be from the gases, yeah, that is air pollution, and also ash. What are they going to do with the ash?
那我们就发现到呢，其实在靠近这个 proposed site， 这个他们的这个建议的地点呢，这个方圆的这个8公里里面呢，其实有至少18间学校 ，KDEB 啊，还有不然就是写州政府啊，还有 ESCO 啊 ，OK， 我们讲，哎呀 ，for the larger majority， 哦，你们牺牲一下吧。可是当你们用这个牺牲这个字的时候，哈，你就知道说这个项目一定是存在风险吗？要不然的话，我们干嘛要牺牲？我觉得这个对我们在 Batu Arang 对的 Rawang 这些人，我觉得要我们求我们的牺牲是很不合理的。
Let me take you down a path that reveals why these concerns aren't just hypothetical. According to the United Nations Environment Programme UNEP, while modern WTE technologies can control dioxins and furans emissions through various measures, many developing countries lack strict emission standards and enforcement. Even some developed countries have exceeded safety limits due to poor operation and maintenance. Now, take a look at Malaysia's situation. It serves as a warning. The country has 4 small incinerators located in Cameron Highlands, Pulau Pankor, Pulau Tioman, and Langkawi. According to the Auditor General's report, most of these have been out of operation for years. The incinerator in Pulau Tioman failed to meet government emission standards, with repairs scheduled until 2022, while Langkawi's operations are suspended until June 2025. Members of parliament and state governments have questioned the effectiveness of these facilities. The Pahang state government had declared the incinerator projects in Tioman and Cameron Highlands as a failure. KDEB Managing Director Ramli Muhammad Tahir and Waste Management expert Dr. Tang acknowledged these failures but maintained that modern WTE incinerators are different from these earlier unsuccessful projects.
Now, I got to make this thing very clear. Probably many years ago, there were a failed incinerator, for example. Now, the public must understand there is a big difference between incinerator and waste-to-energy.
Since the first incinerator, I think it's already more than 100 years. Technology development keep progressing, and all this pollution, people try to put control on the chimney. So, yeah, even you can put a monitoring device 24 hours, monitoring on all the quality, emission, and also what kind of gases are emitted. All these can be done now in incinerator.
Housing and Local Government Minister Nga Korming has also repeatedly emphasized that any technology used in waste-to-energy projects must have at least 10 years of international implementation track record. The ministry will only approve such technologies after their safety and feasibility have been thoroughly verified.
Kita biarkan negara lain dulu buat. Mereka dah buat sejak tahun 1980-an. Jika yang tak selamat, no way. We are not going to approve that. So yang akan dibina di Malaysia, kena ada proven that it is already safe in other countries.
For 2 decades, Malaysia's incinerator project has been a shifting idea, moving from one location to another as communities push back. It all began in 2003 when Mahathir Mohamad proposed the idea of building a large-scale incinerator. But there's a problem. No one wants it in their backyard. First it was Puchong, then Broga, then Kepong, and now Rawang. Each time a new location is chosen, residents rise up and say, "Not here." The Rawang residents argued that the Social Impact Assessment, or SIA, didn't accurately reflect their concerns, claiming it only included interviews with a small selective group. And so the locals are pushing back intensely, They protested with banners, turned up the heat during elections, and demanded a town hall with Selangor Menteri Besar Amiruddin Syari. He promised a dialogue, but so far, silence. As the scale of the WTE project has grown, so has mistrust. Initially pitched as a 2,400-ton waste facility, KDEB revealed in October 2023 that it's just the first phase of a larger plan, including a 100-ton incinerator for scheduled waste, a 1,000-ton facility, and even a solar panel plant. Reports like The Edge in December have highlighted these incremental additions, raising concerns over transparency. Despite over 4,000 protest submissions, the Selayang Municipal Council approved a land use change for the site, while delays in the environmental impact assessment process have left residents fearing the project is already a done deal. In July 2024, Greenpeace Malaysia, along with 30 other NGOs, called out the government's plan to build 18 WTE power plants, labeling them as a false solution. Their arguments, WTE discourage recycling and directly clash with the core reduce, reuse, recycle philosophy. But here's the crucial question. Why is the government so fixated on incinerators? Isn't there another way to deal with Malaysia's garbage problem? Let's look at the numbers. Selangor, Malaysia's most industrialized state with nearly 7 million people, generates a staggering 8,249 tons of municipal waste every single day. That's more trash than Pahang, Terengganu, Perak, and Penang combined. And the reality might be even worse. KDEB Waste Management estimates the true figure is closer to 10,000 tons. For context, if we used Olympic-sized swimming pools as giant trash bins, Selangor would fill 8 of them daily. Over the course of a month, that's 240 pools of garbage. That's an overwhelming amount. As for landfills, Malaysia had 21 sanitary landfills and 116 unsanitary ones in 2021, along with a number of illegal dump sites that aren't even tracked. By the end of 2024, SW Corp said they shut down over 2,600 illegal dump sites. But the problem persists. With a rapidly growing population and skyrocketing waste production, Malaysia's landfills are pushing the limits on what they can handle. There simply isn't enough space left to continue burying trash.
Now, every probably 7 to 10 years, this landfill is going to be filled up, full capacity. I mean, there's no way we are going to reduce this waste at the rate of waste generation. Probably we are talking about 6% every year here in Selangor, and at the rate of 2% increase of population in Selangor.
During our investigation, Dr. Tang had a suggestion. Go to the landfills, see it for yourself. So we did, and what we saw was truly alarming. Trucks loaded with garbage were rolling in non-stop. A heavy layer of dust hung in the air, and the overwhelming stench hit you long before you even got close. It was chaotic, dirty, and uncomfortable. But it's not just about the appearance or smell. Landfills are polluters. They have the potential to leak contaminants into our water supplies and release toxic gases into the air. Landfills are meant to be managed carefully, with layers of soil used to contain the waste. But what we witnessed was far from that. Mountains of trash were out in the open uncovered, attracting flocks of birds and stray dogs. It wasn't just repulsive, it was dangerous. Exposed waste can spread diseases, and these scavengers only made it worse. This isn't just a landfill problem. It's a glimpse into the bigger picture of how we're failing to manage our ever-growing waste crisis.
Untuk menutup satu tapak pelupusan sampah, it will cost us 20 million and above because it require a lot of treatment, the underground gas, okay, and then the pembersihan, berbagai proses perlu dilakukan. It is also very costly. That is the reason why we believe the way forward is from waste to energy. According to our finding and statistics, we are able to have 18 WTEs, which is financially viable and environmentally sustainable.
Closing a landfill costs 20 million ringgit. So does building an incinerator make more financial sense? Or will it just end up as another white elephant project? Let's break down how Malaysia currently handles waste. We don't pay for trash disposal directly. It's bundled into assessment taxes, collected by local governments to cover services like garbage collection and street cleaning. While authorities handle the planning and oversight, the actual work is outsourced to contractors like Alam Flora in Kuala Lumpur or KDEB Waste Management in Selangor. Now for traditional landfills, disposal costs are relatively low, about 30 ringgit to 43 ringgit per ton. But what about WTE incinerators? So far, there's no data from Malaysia. In the US, states with WTE facilities often have higher waste disposal fees than those without, and the costs tend to rise over time. But Dr. Tang views the issue differently. He argues that it's not just about the cost. In his view, relying on cheap landfills is like robbing from the future, and when the bill finally comes, it will be much higher.
We are paying for the future. You are paying more expensive now, but actually we are paying for the future. You are paying cheaper now for landfill technologies, but landfill actually is a long-term commitment. And after long years, you still have to pay a lot of money for reclamation at the end. And the piece of land price, you cannot be used for coming 40 years. Nobody count in all this in terms of dollar and cent. So if you count the whole thing, landfill may not be cheaper than incinerator or WTE.
UNEP states that WTE isn't a perfect solution. While it can help reduce some greenhouse gases, it only contributes 1% of global renewable energy. However, UNEP also emphasizes that developing countries can't immediately leap to a zero-waste ideal. Meanwhile, according to the German GIZ guidelines, WTE is expensive and definitely not a moneymaker. While it's a better option than landfills in the waste management hierarchy, the most effective approach is the 3R strategy: reduce, reuse, recycle. In short, WTE isn't the perfect answer. It's just one part of the puzzle. It won't resolve all the problems, and we still need to manage the flying ash and bottom ash. Both WTE and landfills are merely short-term fixes. To truly address the issue, we need to prevent waste at the source. But Malaysia lacks the necessary laws to curb overpackaging and hold manufacturers accountable.
I think the government have to look into controlling the source of generation, where something like a packaging law, controlling the manufacturer to use what materials in packaging and what they can do and what they cannot do in excessive packaging and so on.
We should be moving towards the zero waste. Zero waste approach has been proven effective in ensuring resource efficiency, resource recovery, and protection of scarce resources. So the goal here is to reduce waste generation. So when you're reducing waste generation, it also reduces the amount that has to be disposed.
For years, we've been fed the idea that trash is treasure. Current and former ministers, along with government insiders, love to tout phrases like waste to wealth and lihat sampah sebagai wang ringgit. Basically, treat trash as if it's money. But Dr. Tang isn't buying it. He calls it for what it is, a myth. He says it's not just misleading, but dangerous. This mindset, he argues, could ultimately undermine the responsibility we should have in managing our waste.
When the government itself says to people, waste to well, I think it's really a very unfortunate, misleading concept to tell the people. Because waste is always a cost from the government perspective. We have to more focus and twist this back to the right term that maybe we have to say, waste is a responsibility. Please tell people, government spend a lot of money on waste management. Please do your part. Waste is a big responsibility for everyone.
We always look up to countries like Japan, Taiwan, and others for how well they handle waste management and public health. But let's be honest, do we actually take our own trash seriously? Without political will, even the best policies remain just words. Without strict enforcement, no policy will succeed. And no matter how many awareness campaigns we run, if we don't change our mindset, there'll just be background noise. The real question is, are we ready to overhaul the entire waste management system? It's not just about better technology or policy, it's about changing how we think. From the government to each one of us, we must let go of the use and discard mindset and completely rethink our relationship with the environment.
他们的唯一的 solution 和唯一的解决方式就是这个垃圾焚化炉，所以这些 sustainable 的这解决方案没有兴趣，因为很久才可以看到效果，所以要去教育人民啊，你要去这个 3R， 这是要很长时间的。可是从当初他们 propose 从那个 Broga 那一边，如果从那个时候他们开始的话，已经 aware of 这个情况了。从那个时候他们开始已经是教育人这个 3R 的问题，他们今天不会再重复要用这个垃圾焚化的问题。可是就是没有人要去做这件事情。
If they are building the incinerator in the Rawang, KL, but not building in Batu Arang, do you think that this kind of plan work for you guys?
See, it depends on how far is it, because that place do not have fire risk. But if it's populated, is within 7.5 kilometers, that is a standard EIA standard for Puchuk incinerator, right? If they are far away, right, then it's up to the people there. If they want us to come and help, we will help.
At Kinitv, we believe in journalism that makes a difference. Every story we uncover, every truth we reveal, shapes our tomorrow. But powerful journalism needs your support. Scan now to join our mission. Your contribution powers the story that matter.